Hey, Sherry. Not too much hanging in there. Rain's on there. It's always good. I always feel good when rain's on because it's like a lucky charm. She's my cheering section. For Rain and Sherry, I was writing the other book for Stephanie James. That's the reason why I stopped on book 2 of Waters of Dark. You guys do still have the latest chapters done. I will be starting back on that tonight. So you guys should start receiving some chapters pretty soon on there. And then Rain, the video you posted with the video and the women, that's going to be in book 3. There's a twist with Sherry's character. And again, Sherry's character was supposed to be just like a brief character, but I saw a direction that Sherry can go, and it's going to be pretty big because she's like the mayor of the town, right? And you got that that sheriff and her kind of butt heads in the very beginning of book 1, and if you guys read the book there's not too many people on, but at the end of the book, the Warders of Light are getting ready to circle and coming up with a plan of attack, right? So Sherry's kind of like the eyes and ears of everything. She always knows what's going on before anybody else, and there's a reason why that is. And that's going to come out in book 3. Not so much in book 2. She does play a part in book 2, but it's leading you up to that anticipation of the explosive of what's going to happen in book 3. Also, in book 2, in book 1, Darren's kind of like, he's got the Reaper, so you see him almost untouchable. And then in the second book, there's a very important line. And I'll just say it, and I'm not going to give too much away. But there's a line whenever Donnie's character turns to Tabby, and he tells her even Darren bleeds, and that's going to be a big thing. And we're going to see One-Eyed Maribeth finally step into play. Really step in at the end of that book 2. So I just can't wait to get back to it. I hate it being off of it because I lose thought too fast, and there was a storyline. I might have to get back with you, Rain, on Discord and kind of shoot ideas back and forth and figure it out from there. He got he got injured in the first one, but remember, the Reaper kind of held him up, but now Reign of Darkness gave him a necklace that controls the Reaper, right? So he's still very skilled, but he doesn't have that healing factor or that extra power behind it, right? So me and you'll have to probably sit down one day, go back and forth on that because I have to recollect my thoughts. I'll have to reread it from the beginning to try to make sure I don't miss anything. I give credit to any author like Emma, Brenda, all these authors that could do a series and make it continuously flow, right? I don't know how you guys do it while still remembering what happened in the first book and make it, you know what I mean? I was reading the first book and I wrote it. And then I read the second one and I had Sherry's eyes colors wrong. I had it one color there and one color there. I had to go back and change it. Whereas, one of my favorite authors of all time to this day is R.A. Salvatore. He wrote the Drizzt Do'Urden series, Icewind Dale trilogy. This was written on, you having notes on characters? Yeah, I should probably do that. I should literally start writing down notes, on the characters and stuff like that. But R.A. Salvatore created this character, Drizzt Do'Urden, as part of the Dragonlance series. And he was amazing. That he did 13 books, and they're all connected, and he just builds, and he had so many characters, right? And Shriver Files, I might check into that too, thank you. And he built all these characters. Cat's actually named after one of the characters, Catti Bride Battlehammer, which was the adopted daughter of Brunner Battlehammer, the Dwarven king, right? And if you guys ever get a chance, if you guys don't know what books I'm talking about, go check out Dragonlance and the Icewind Dale trilogy. It's where it starts off, by R.A. Salvatore. The guy that played Doctor Strange, Neo Cumberbatch, he played He also played Sherlock Holmes in a TV series, and he did a brilliant job playing Sherlock Holmes. Probably one of my favorite Sherlock Holmes characters or actors I've ever seen. That's how good he was. And he does a short story on YouTube for R.A. Salvatore. He did it as a thank you, because he's a big fan, and he did it as a hey or thank you to R.A. Salvatore. R.A. Salvatore was blown away by this, and whenever Cumberbatch takes and reads it, and they have like the visuals, you guys gotta check it out. It's on YouTube. But look up the visuals on it, and it tells like the brief about the Loth, the Spider Queen. Oh my God, man! I had chills running down me, like my skin tingled, because I'm such a huge fan of Drizzt Do'Urden. The fight scenes in it were magnificent, coming from someone that knows how to fight. The swordplay, everything was, brilliant. And the characters were so memorable that he created the book. Thank you. He created the book Icewind Dale first. It was supposed to be a collective of the characters. But Drizzt Do'Urden, which was a side character, became so popular that he became the star of the book. And that's what happens. I mean, for some of you authors down there, think about how many times you've wrote a book and a side character became the star out of it, right? Like that, you're focusing on writing the character as like, hey, this is my person. And then all of a sudden the side character just overshadows it, right? Kind of happened in Dredricktown. When I wrote that, there was a side character, Pie Thief. And then I got so much hate mail whenever, because he was a funny comic relief. And spoiler alert, he gets killed. And then everybody was like pissed. Because he was a sacrifice. And but anyways, they became a big thing. And now Drizzt Do'Urden is a huge character. He's like in video games now. The characters in video games. There's like figurines, there's busts, there's collectibles. I have one actually, right here. Hold on a second. I want to show you guys a gift my daughter got. All right, real quick. It's 8 o'clock. My name is Mike Manicki. I forgot who I was. I'm a writer of horror and thrillers and more, and the host of Nightwriter's Myth and Legends. Whew. Glitch. Thank you. So this was something Kat got for me. Try to block the glare. That's Drizzt Do'Urden. This is a figurine. Can't really see because of the glare. I hate that. But that was like really cool. And so he had the cat Guinevere. So I'm a big fan of that. And so super nice. But yeah, so these are like, I don't know how these other authors, that just shows talent. I mean, Emma gave a couple of things for me to check out, like the files and hold on to them with the characters, which I think is pretty brilliant. Because I'm going to have to do that, because I plan on doing at least, minimum 6 or 7 books. But if it becomes very popular, then maybe it'll just keep on going, right? So let's just hope. Anyways, at the beginning of the show, I know I'm going to start the show here. I do got something fun planned for tonight. I'm going to tell a horror story. So if you're faint of heart or you get queasy, you might not want to watch this episode. So keep that in mind, because we're going to get a little graphic. And then the other thing is that I like to do, love how book 2 starts. I know, so that's just what Brenda said. The book 2, whenever I was writing that one, I knew that I had to bring Brenda into it as Brendalina, right? And I wanted to make a scene that just didn't kind of continue from the first book and then, kind of just slow-mo. I wanted something that was like, holy crap, that just happened on the first chapter. And I wanted to make sure that if we were going to introduce a vampire setting in this one, you have to have a blood rave. And I think the first chapter really nails it. And it actually gives you a sense or a hint of what's going to really play out. Because this is, the book 2 is kind of unfolding something very big that's going to come towards the end. Like what this is all leading up to, right? So let's just hope I don't screw it up, because you don't want to give too much away at the beginning of it, and then you got 5-6 books down the line to go, right? So keep that in mind. And then couple quick shout outs, and I'll get right to the story mode. We have Emma's book out for anybody that's new on here. I think I shared as much as I could. Make sure you go check out. I've been to a rave. You shall say no more. There you go. Emily's got Shadows of Stone. I've now got all three. I'm just waiting for I have to get the paperbacks. I do have all three on digital. I do plan on collecting a set and then putting it on there. Same thing with Brenda's. If you look at the covers, you guys did a really great job on there. Brenda, the color coordination of your covers is awesome. Like, it was smart because when it's on a shelf, it gives it draws the eye to it right immediately that they're both in that color sequence, right? And the way they're set up. So that's kudos to that. So make sure you guys check out Shadows of Stone. I'll be honest with you, I've had a few glitches today. It's one of those times whenever the mind sticks with my condition. So bear with me here. And it's on Amazon. Get yours. Also, Shay Smith has hers out as well. The Trials, that's on Amazon. She had a release date, released like one day early. So make sure you guys got that going on. I will be turning over the final product of The Deadline, which is a story about a phone booth in the middle of the Mojave Desert that has a secret. That should be handed over to Stephanie James Publishing, and then that one should be out pretty soon as well. So we'll see what happens on that one. That one, I will say that book, the story, even though, it took me away from my other projects, but that story, I will have to say, the phone book, I think I did a really good job on it. Like, I'm pretty excited the way it turned out. Because it is a really big suspense thriller. Not so much a horror book, but it is a suspense thriller that's psychological and will hold your teeth. Think of like a cross between Blair Witch Project and Twilight Zone. And that'll kind of give you a better idea of how that's going to play out. But it is a good book. It's only about maybe 120, 25 pages because it's part of a Choose Your Own Ending series, right? Alrighty. And then Jay Michael will be joining us later. I'm glad Marion's on there. I miss my Marion. She's my lucky charm. She's been with me. She's been working the nights. I just hope she don't get fired because she's at work and then like her bosses come in and she's all like, I don't know how she's going to explain that. But glad she's off. All right. So tonight we're going on Nightwriter's Myth and Legends. So again, I see a couple more new faces on there. My name is Mike Manicki. Just to reiterate, I write thriller books, horror books, more. You can find my content on Amazon. I have quite a few books out, at least 11 now. Check them out. Leave a review if you could of not only me, but there's also fantastic authors in the comments. So if you're a new reader and you're watching this, check them out. Like, share, follow. And then tonight on the show, Nightwriter, Myth and Legends, we know that we always talk about different stories or legends and how they're tied to things, right? Like the Mirror episode. We talked about the Mirror. I do apologize about last week's episode. If we would have had more of the candy properly, I think that would have turned out better. But it was probably not my best episode. And then this one, I want to do about road trips. Okay, so everybody likes, most people I would say, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that do enjoy road trips. And how do you not enjoy that? Oh, real quick, I want to get off track. Can you imagine, like I see this, I should call there and keep hanging up. I'm just thinking, that's Marion, right? Like she's answering phones at work, but she's watching my show. Someone rings, hello, this is the hotel. Oh, and the boss comes in, who's that? Oh, just wrong number. And she does that like on 10 calls in a row. I could see her doing that. Marion, we just took 32 calls in 12 minutes. Why ain't you, what's wrong? Are they not buying a room? I'll be honest, that's something I would do. I would. No, wait. Yeah, this is Bates Motel. Rooms? Now, we don't sell rooms here. Yeah, we're a hotel line. I know you called a hotel, but we don't have any rooms. Why don't we have rooms? Because we're a hotel. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? Sir, you don't make sense. That's it. That's how I would handle it. Oh, you got to go with Bates Hotel. I mean, anytime you do a hotel, it's got to be hotel Bates, right? You ever did a segment of the Crossroads before? Not yet, but we'll get to that. I got one planned, but I want to have a special guest on the Crossroads because I do have a few people that really like to talk about the Crossroads. But yeah, so the road trips are something that's really, really cool because a lot of times when you look at stories, whether it's a comedy, a horror film, thriller, whatever, a lot of them take place on a road trip. Joyride, great movie with Paul Walker. Euro Trip, a comedy, probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I probably watched that movie like 1,000 times. Scotty doesn't know. All right, you guys probably don't know that one, but that's a good one, right? And then I've personally have done a boatload of road trips, and I can't say too much, but there's been quite a few of them that did end in some life and death circumstances, right? So not too many. There's only about a handful, but there was Henry and the Hendersons. But yeah, there's always there was a few roadside things and stuff that got into a serious situation. But that's how these stories come about, right? You know, everybody's enjoying a road trip. Something happens. Car breaks down in the middle of the night. They hear something in the woods. And like idiots, they ask, is anybody there? First of all, if you hear crap, don't ask, hey, is anybody there? It just lets them know that you're definitely there, right? Pinpoint the sound and then get into combat mode. You know what I'm saying? Go all John Wick. But anyways, I hear that all the time. Hello? Hello? And they're peeking around. Hello? Hello? Yeah. That's the reason why you're a victim in the show. All right. So now, whenever you're taking and you're going on road trips, you always want to have a survival bag in there. But when you go on these things, because the worst case scenario happens. But tell me, how many movies, how many shows we have had or not have if we didn't do a road trip, right? So I'm going to tell a horror story tonight in horror mode, okay? I want to stop really quick and set the stage. Because you got to set the stage when you do a play, all right? Something that you guys don't know about me, you know, everybody tune in. So, because I know Marion's always asking questions about me, at least with me and her chat. So this is something that you guys probably don't know. So when I was growing up, before I had too many blows to the head, I was very quick with creating story mode, right? Like, how would I say it? Like, you give me anything, like improv. I could improv anything. Like, you put something down, I can make up a story in a minute. So what helps me as a writer. But I can literally just, boom, full story. I used to do these for Kat all the time when she was growing up. That's actually how the twins came about. You guys heard me tell it before. One morning, I'm telling Kat a story because my mom called and annoyed me about digging a freaking garden. And I created the story about knocking off my parents and putting them in a grave. Okay? So that's how the story came about. But I used to be able to improv these stories. And, hold on to your hats, when I was about 22, 23, I used to go into a club called Paradise Blues. Paradise Blues was in Maui, and when I lived out there for 32 years, and it was a bar that did loud comedy improv. And I used to do an improv comedy that every night. Like, I'd go down there and have a few drinks. I'd go up on stage, and I would just do a comedy show. And the thing with it is that I would never write down the script. Because it's just like anything else. I don't write things out. I just let it flow. Because I could make up a story out of the air. And whenever I got on stage, you know, you got a few spirits in you and you're doing anything. And I'd get up there. I'd be doing stuff like marriage, right? I'd be all sitting there like, you know, getting up on stage and I'm all like, yeah. Hey, everyone. You know, it's like, thank you. Like, it's great to be here at the Paradise Blues tonight. I'm here with my lovely wife. How many of you guys are married? Hands going up as well. All right. You guys are all married. Poor bastards. All right. You guys know what I'm talking. Don't get offended because I called you poor bastards. You guys know you guys know it's true. Because think about it. Let's go back before the day and age, before you guys were taken married. You were just dating. You weren't even dating. You were just single. You know, you're out there. You're with the boys. You're hanging out. You're doing a little b-ball. And everything's just going great, right? You're all happy. You're the king of the world. The free man. That's what it was. And then a young little filly comes along and you're all like, hey, baby, how you doing? Next thing you know, you're out on a couple of dates, your dinner, you're buying, they're going great. Now you think that you found something great in life. You got a brand new love. She's all holding your hand. You feel like you're powerful when you're walking down the road, right? Like you're walking in front, you got your girlfriend's hand, she's a little bit step behind you, and you're just walking, you're like, what's up? Yeah, this is, yeah, she's with me. Yeah, that's right. You got to walk into the bars too. You know, it's not just your friends, right? You got to go into the bars and you got to set it up. It's like, yeah, she's with me. You looking at my woman? Huh? She's with me. So now you're on high heaven. You guys dating a while, everything's going good. Next thing you know, you come home and you just bought yourself a fishing rod, right? Like this 20, beautiful rod, like $200. Or, let's say you bought yourself a nice watch. Yeah, you got your watch on. Like, baby, bought myself a Rolex, $5,000. Her eyes lights up. She's like, what? $5,000 for a watch? Honey, baby, please. You need to control your spending. Let me handle your money, and I'll make sure you spend right, okay? Because otherwise you're going to go broke, baby. I want our future to be together. I want to love you. I want a house. Let me help you out with things. Now, you got a girlfriend, and you got no money because she's in control, right? Dating goes along. You still think it all good. Next thing you know, you're like, hey, baby, I'm going to go out on the b-ball and play with the guys, hang out for a while. You don't spend no time with me. You don't love me. What? You heard me. I sit here, wait for you to call me? Is that what all I am for you? Whoa. Baby, I'll stay in. The boys can wait. I'm here. I'm a man. I take my pride. I love the woman. I love you, baby. Don't turn your back on me. Come here. I'll do anything. Yes, I'll watch The Notebook. Let's do it. Put it on. I'll grab a popcorn. Now, you got no money and you got no friends. And you still don't see the pattern going on. You still don't see the death coming, do you? Now, because you're an idiot, because you're a male. You're a man. And you lost a few IQ points when you became a man. Probably more than one. All right, so now you're kind of a little bit down. You're all like there. And the next thing you know, your eyes start drifting when another cute little filly walks by. You're walking with your girl, and that hand holding you were doing, now it's just like she's a little bit on the side of you now. It's no longer behind you. It's on the side of you. And then you're trying to do that side glance because there's like another hot lady walking by, and you're all like, what are you looking at? Nothing. I had something in my eye, baby. It was like the sun. It was all up in the eye. I don't know what it was. I think I got glaucoma going on. I can't see shit. No, baby. I wasn't looking at her. I wasn't looking at the girl in the red dress. Oh, you didn't see her, but you knew she had a red dress on? How in the hell did that happen? Did you see out of the back of your freaking skull? Whoa, baby. Baby, I'm sorry. I will never look at another woman again. I promise you. I will never look at another woman. And so help me God. Let my eyes fall out. Next thing you know, now you can't even look. You're just done. She goes, you know what? If you truly mean that, you'll put a ring on it. Yep. Now you got it. So you go down, and because you want to keep her happy, you'll get down on that knee. You'll put that ring on. And your friends are all telling you, like, dude, what the hell's wrong? You're like, no, man, I love her. Okay. Now you got no money, you got no friends, and you just gave up the rest of your life. Because whenever you get married, it literally says, death to you part. That's the clause. You're not going anywhere until you die. And I honestly believe that's the reason why men die early, right? Way before the woman. But now, and you ever notice something about the weddings, right? I mean, that right there should tell you that you're going to die miserably, right? First of all, let's be honest. Wedding rings, handcuffs, they're just small, but they're there. Have you ever tried to take a wedding ring off? It fit perfectly. But now it's got like some magical demon possession inside of it that you can't get this damn thing off. Right? It's stuck. It like shrunk overnight. You got to get 18 pounds of butter just to loosen the damn thing up, right? So, anyways, now that's the first sign. The second sign is that you got your best, you hear the wedding song. Tell me if this isn't true. The wedding song. Dun, 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 dun. Right? Slow that shit down. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's the death march. That's what that is. You're just hearing it sped up during the wedding, but slow that shit down. It's the death march. That should be your second clue that you're going to die. Do you understand that? Okay? Now, if that didn't clue you in, take a good look around the wedding hall. Your best men, that's your pallbearers. That's right. These are the same bastards that's going to be carrying your dead carcass out like 10 years later. Right? That's it. All right, so, okay, that was like a free concert, but that was it right there. I couldn't keep track of the comments, so I hope that didn't like offend anybody. But I gotta get a drink of water real quick. I honestly don't know how that turned into we don't want to get married anymore. Bree Brooks. I write mostly thrillers and horror books. I do dark fantasy right now, but I write all of them. If you go on Amazon, type in my name, it'll pop them all up. I do, all my books are got a little bit of romance, spice, and everything else nice inside of it. Just make sure to, yeah, so I used to do stand-up when I was younger. So, like, for even right then, just now, that display, I only remember key parts of it. And I only did it once, like 40 years ago. So everything there that was just literally improvised right there. I mean, I remember the death march part of it, and then like the dating, like the holding hands. But the rest of that I just made up on the spot, right? So, but let's go back to the road trip. So I don't know how I got tracked off there. But anyways, that's something that you guys didn't probably know about me, as I used to be able to improv very well. I used to tell stories. It was what got me into writing, is because I could make up these stories. When I was a kid, I was, my grandfather was, had a rough time growing up. So I used to get locked in like an area without any kind of stimuli around me, right? So I'd be locked up as a child, and you can't talk to anybody, can't see nothing, can't do nothing. So you would be making up stories in your head because you're locked in like a dark room, you can't see nothing, right? Or a dark area. So when you're doing these stories, they would just fire off. They would come to me. And then whenever we go driving, I'd be going driving with Kat in the back car when she's growing up, and I would just be like firing off. I even did this whole thing on Batman and Robin and stuff, and it turned out really good. You know what I mean? It was just really great. And it was cool. But anyways, I'm going on to the reason why I went through that whole 30 minutes there. That was probably supposed to take like 5. I wanted to explain because tonight I'm going to tell you a story that I remember parts of from when I was a child. But I will tell it in a story mode. And that story mode will be how I'm going to improv it. So if you see me stuttering, fluttering, or glitching, it's because I'm making half this crap up. I do remember the story. I know it's not real. It's a fiction story I heard, but I thought it was a really great story when I was a kid. And then the corn kid, he's out right now. He's having a little bit of issues. He'll be back. He's okay. He'll be back in. He might come in tonight at the last part of it. He did miss the first part. I'll have to like send him a copy of this or something like that. But he's fine. He's fine. He just needs a little time out. He's reached out to me already, so he's good. And my corn kid. So, and I'm gonna have to ride him hard on both Shay and J. Michael for missing that first part. So we'll see if I can like download this or something and have them check it out. And anyways, the story that I remember reading this, I don't know, or reading it, or I wasn't read it. I heard it. I heard parts of it, and I remember I always wanted to do like a story about this, and it came to me the other night. For some reason, I don't know what I was doing. I was somewhere and I glitched out, and it popped up, and I started thinking like, okay, let's do a story. All right, so I'm going to do the story. I'm going to try to improv it and make it sound fluid because I can't remember crap. And so, Shay, did you catch the first part, the improv part? Because if you missed that, that was, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I could do that again. that was like, wow. I can't stay long because my phone is going out. That's not an excuse. There's these things called chargers. If you plug it in, just saying, I'll send you a link. I'll try to download this episode, the first part, and I'll send it out to you. But all right. She fair enough, Shay. All right. So, all right. Thank you. So the last part here, yeah, that's not an excuse at all. I'm with Emma, man. I carry charge. I got 18 chargers in my car, dog. And there's like everywhere you go, there's an outlet. Hell, there's a bar I go to right down here called Forge Garage. They got outlets at the bar that you can charge. They got charging stations on there. So stop pulling a whole Clint Baker, Shay. Just because you share a show with them. Come on now. All right. I have to like get back at her later on. And then Shay's now trying to use, she's got rotary, she carries a rotary phone with her. Brrr, gotta get to Mike. Brrr, gotta get to Mike. Brrr, call waiting, what the hell? Brrr, gotta start all over. All right, let's get serious here. Anyways, Shay, you really should have watched the first part. I'm gonna be surprised. That was probably the best one that came on, Party Line, right? All right, I want everybody to dim the lights in the room. One, that makes me look better. At least when I dim, that's the reason why my lights ain't on. You guys are all like, his skin is smooth. That's because I got very dim lighting, face filters, 18 pounds of foundation on. All right, seriousness. Scene. All right. Here's what we got. So this is a story. I'm going to take in, I know parts of it is from what I heard, but I'm going to try to do it. So hopefully I don't screw this up. Now this is going to get a little bit gory. So like I said, if you're weak in the knees, probably shouldn't be on here. All right, here we go. So there's these two guys. One was named Art and Dave. Art was the type of guy that was the surfer guy that went around, couch surfed all over the place. Didn't really do anything. Just kind of just like freeloaded off his friends. Dave, on the other hand, was a successful businessman. He was single. Both these guys are single, but Dave, he built his career as a lawyer. He did a fantastic job. He's got the whole house. He's got the luxury car. And he actually has probably one of the nicest Mustang convertibles, cherry red. And so Art comes over and he's all, hey buddy, let's go out and you know what we need to do? And he's like, we gotta do something. And then Dave's all like, no man, I got these things I gotta get done. I got court on Monday. I got all this. He's like, dude, come on, man. We haven't been out on a road trip for like ever. We gotta do a road trip. And then Dave's all like, he's thinking about it. He's like, you know what? We really haven't. It's like, let's load up the car. So Art and Dave, they get in there, they loading up the car, they got all the snacks, they got the lunchies. This is taking place in 1985. Good old 1985s. They're blasting the music. Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. I don't know the rest of the words. Just feel them in along. And then they're out on the highway, they're drinking their beers. Because let's be honest, back in the 80s, you could drive with no seatbelt on. So we didn't care about getting a car accident 800 miles per hour. Fly 50 feet, get back up, finish off the beer, get back in our car, and drive on like it was nothing. That's the 80s. Step up. Anyways, Art and Dave, they're all like cruising down there. They've had a few brewskis, and they're going around these winding roads. They decide to go up into the mountains. Beautiful view. Sky is all gorgeous, got blue skies, got the white little cumulus clouds, and they're all like smiling back at them. The wind's blowing through their long hair because it's the 80s and everybody's got the big hairs. And then they're all, well, except Dave. Dave's got it short. He's got like the mullet because he's a lawyer. So you got the business in the front and then the hee in the back, right? We're going to forget I just made that sound. Everybody just remove that. Anyways, we go back on there and they're driving, they're going through there and they're going to Mountain Road. Well, as Art's bouncing around, he's pretty drunk, and Dave's just sitting there chilling. They're laughing, having a good time. Well, Art pulls out the big video camera. Now, if you guys remember from 1985, the big old video camera was huge. It was like a big cassette tape, big old, videotape, VHS inside there, and he's videotaping everything, and he sets it on the dash for a quick minute as these guys are flying down the highway, just zipping in and zipping out. And Art's over there, and he's all like, come on, man, and he knocks down Dave's cap. Well, it goes over Dave's cap, and then all of a sudden the car hits something. They feel it ricochet off the edge of the car, hits the windshield, and flies all the way back. Dave sits there and he gets the hat off and he screeches to a halt and goes down the turn. And then he's like, oh my God, and they're all like panicking and they're trying to find each other, okay? Art's got a little bit of a cut on his right head right there. Blood's just trickling down on his cheek. Dave's all shaking. He can't even touch the steering wheel. He's all like, whoa, man, we got to stop. I can't. Art's all like, oh my God, we hit something. I think we hit somebody. And Art's like, dude, calm down. Let me go check, man. Just calm down. It's okay. Wipes the blood from his hand. Gets out of the car. Goes over there and he goes around the turn because Dave can't see it because it went around a turn really fast. Art goes back there. Art looks over there and there's a dead man. It's a biker. The guy had all the leathers on. He had the vest. He had the bandana, and he had the tattoos all over his arm and his chest. And he's dead. His legs are bent at an awkward angle. His head's smashed on one side. Blood's all over the thing. Streaked it across the floor. Art's all like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He's freaking out. And then he's got to he starts talking to himself, and he's all like, come on, man. We can't do this. And he looks around, he makes sure there's no one looking as good in the light. He doesn't see anybody. Grabs the legs, pulls it off the road, throws it in the bushes all the way down. Goes back, tries to clean up, does his shirt, goes back over to the car, and he's like, Dave. Dave's like, oh my God, did we hit something? I was like, no, man. It was a deer, bro. It was just a deer. It was a deer. It's cool. Chill out. And then Dave's all okay. They get out of the car for a minute. Dave's like settling down. He's calming down. Art's kind of looking back, making sure that, Dave doesn't go back and check for the body. Because, he already knows that they killed someone. But Art's already been in jail like 3 or 4 times. He doesn't need to go back to jail. And then even though Dave's a lawyer, he doesn't want to take and do anything. So they get back in their car and they start driving. And they decide that, Dave couldn't handle it more. He's driving, but he's still torn up. They see a roadside kind of like bar. Bunch of bikers out in front, just motorcycles. You got these beautiful Harleys all across. Remember 1985. And they got these Harleys all across there. They get out and they walk in there with their little polo shirts, and the music everybody just turns around. It's like a cricket could fart. You know what I mean? And when you're looking around, it's the type of dive shop that you would expect. It's got the wooden rafters. You got Cindy that smokes 20 Pall Malls a day behind the bar. You got all these other barkers laying around, their cue sticks, their pools, kind of looking over there. Even the music seems to stop. When they walked in at first, it was like, Ozzy playing Paranoid, or Black Sabbath playing like, dun, dun, Iron Man on there. And they come in and they automatically know that they fucked up. They're in the wrong place. But they got to get something, because Dave is just not happening. Dave's down. So they go in there and Dave goes over there and he gets a drink. And he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I got to get cleaned up. Art goes over there and orders a couple of drinks. The bar kind of goes back to normal, but the bikers are still kind of weary of him. And Art kind of goes down there just laughing and all that stuff. Well, he sees this hot chick at the end of the bar. She's got that bandana for the top, very well busted, flawless skin, kind of sets out among the crew. And Art decides to go over there, and he starts kind of like hitting on her. Buy you a drink, baby. And she looks at him up and down. Just get away from me. He's like, what? He starts hitting her. Biker comes up, grabs him from behind, jerks him to the thing. You messing with my woman? Did you look at my woman? And then Art's like, hey, yo, man, chill out. It's okay. And then Dave comes back out. He sees this. And he's all like, whoa, what's going on, guys? What's going on? So your boyfriend here was looking at my woman. Now he's going to have to pay. And the biker whips out a switchblade. And he puts it to Art's eye, like right underneath it. Dave's all, hey, I'm a lawyer, guys. We don't want any harm. We just want to get out of here. And he's like, listen, here's all the money in my pocket. You know, it's $500. Just let us go. Just let us go. Biker sits there and goes, okay, take your boyfriend, get the hell out of this bar. Don't ever come into a biker's bar again. Dave and Art, Dave grabs Art and he starts dragging him out, takes him to the car. As they're getting in there, the bikers start following him out. One of the bikers notices that there's a blood smeared all over the front end of their cherry Mustang convertible. He looks down even further and he sees a patch had been ripped off and stuck to a bumper. It was a small patch of their bike gang. The biker goes, whoa, what's this? He looks down and he pulls it up. Immediately all the other bikers see it, and next thing you know, they're surrounded. Where did this come from? And they're all like, hey man, I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? Well, there's blood all over your hood and you got our colors on, you got our patch on your car. And he's like, no, then would you guys hit one of us? And Dave's like, no, man, we didn't. And Art shouts off, mouths off. He's like, it was a deer. It was a deer, man. All we hit was a deer. One of the other biker walks around. He sees the video camera, snatches it out of there. He says, well, let's see. So they play the video camera back. And as the video camera's on there, they see Art put it on the dash. And it's watching the road. And it catches, just at the last minute, one of the bikers coming walking up out of the woods in the car, hitting it. And all you see is the biker's face as he goes over the glass, tumbles, and onto the road. The bikers look at them, Dave looks at Art, and all hell breaks loose. The bikers just start beating the shit out of fucking Art, knocking him down. Dave's all like, listen. Please, God, don't kill him. And he's all like, the biker turns around and goes, you're right. We're not going to kill him. You didn't do anything, but your friend did. He has to pay the price. The next thing you know, they put Dave into the car with one biker with a gun to his head. They make him drive up the road, turn around, and sit there and idle. Now, Dave doesn't know what's going on, but while he's up there, something's happening to Art. And they get a call. The biker says, okay, now drive. Dave's like, no, I don't want to, man. We don't want any problems. He says, put your foot on the gas pedal and drive now. Blow your head off. Dave starts driving down the thing, and he's just going there straight forward. The last thing he sees is Art buried in the dirt up to his head. And that was the last thing he saw as he kept on going. All right, I left off the very ending because I couldn't say it on her, but that was a road trip story, horror story. Now, normally I don't do these because I see a lot of new faces on here. Normally I just talk about myth and legends around on there. So for some of you guys that did join in, I did remember at the beginning, I said, hey, if you're squeamish, don't jump on there. But I thought I'd tell a story. Now, I only remember from when I heard this once a long time ago was the bikers, the guy hitting one of the bikers and then the head scene at the end. The rest of that I just made up as I was talking just now. So that was all improv of a story I just pulled out of my ass like 2 seconds ago. So I hope that didn't take it. I saw a couple of viewers come on and then like a whole bunch of people leave. But that's the horror story. So whenever I'm writing books, that's the exact same thing. Like I'll go sit down. I don't think anything out. I'll have like a brief idea, right? Like again, if I miss comments, guys, that's because I was in story mode and the comedy show that I did at the beginning, the improv, I couldn't see. So if you guys had any questions, my first live viewers and probably will be on sometimes. Okay, yeah, don't judge it by this one. This isn't a normal live. Trust me. This is the first time this one went this direction. Usually they're a lot different. All right, I have a question. Go ahead, Marion. J. Michael, you missed the best part. I told him that you would be coming in at the very end. I'll send you a video link of this so you can catch it later. You and Shay, because you guys didn't catch the beginning of it, it was pretty good. I'll put it on YouTube. I haven't done my YouTube in a while. I need to update that. I'll put this episode on there for you guys if you guys want to go back and watch it. But Marion, you had a question? When I get the new chapters. I'm starting on the new one now. No worries. But yeah, for the new people on here, when I write, I'll just think of something like random. You know, let's say like Fredericktown. I remembered from Fredericktown, a town I was in. And then I just sit in front of the type, my computer, and the story flows. Everything's improv. And then I have a really special little agent that helps me edit that I owe so much to. She's awesome, and that's how I get my editing done now. I used to pay editors, but that didn't work out so well, so I have a really cool friend that helps me out. But will you ever do a story about Haunted Dallas? I did. It was called The Twins, and that's about it. I don't think I'll be doing a story live on Dallas again. The only other story I did was meet my childhood when I grew up, and the story in the bedroom, but that's about it. It's you, Marion. You know you're my little key charm. She's awesome. And for all you other authors, Marion's mine. So my books come first. No, I haven't, and I probably won't. I support Clarence 100%. However, whenever he has me, he had just posted a couple videos of the one with the Dow, and I'm all like, really? Clarence is a good writer. Like, there's no doubt. Like, this guy's talented. You know what I mean? And he writes phenomenal. However, whenever I saw him like buying the Dow and putting it on there, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta repost this shit. I gotta put like and comments on it and put it up there. I can't even stand looking at the damn picture of it and stuff like that. I have 2 Dows that my sister Tanya bought that was for whenever we went to Missouri, me and Kat went up there for a book signing event. We actually went up there for 2 book signing events. And my sister Tanya had, okay, you guys want a Dow story? I'll give you a Dow story. Let's do it. All right. So about 3 years ago, I think I came out with the Twins about 3, maybe 4 years ago. I think it's almost 4 years ago. And I went up to Missouri to do probably one of my first big book signings. It was at a Comic-Con kind of convention. And we did a small one ahead of time, kind of get the nerves going, right? And then we went on to the second one. And so we did 2 while we were there. And then when I get there, my sister had spent a ton of money and a lot of time building me a display to put up behind my booth. And then she is amazing at putting things together, like arts and crafts. Now, with her, she is very particular on what she does. Well, she had created this like fencing thing. I'll send pictures of it. You guys probably seen it. I've posted them in the past. But it had like, bloody fingers, and then there was, my books were all over the signage, and it was all decked out like a horror story. Like, she did a fantastic job as a horror story. And then inside these cages was these 2 Dows, and they were really old porcelain Dows. Like, the faces were porcelain. They were creepy as hell. Like, just absolutely creepy as hell. And I remember when I saw it, I'm trying to keep my face neutral because she put a lot of time and effort in this one. And I come in there, I'm like, great, this is awesome. You did a fantastic job. And I couldn't even stay because I was supposed to sleep at her house that night. I wouldn't even sleep there. I made me and Kat get a hotel room, and my sister was pissed because she thought that there was something wrong with the house, like I didn't like her house. And it was no, because I didn't want to sit there with those damn freaking dowels inside of it, man. Like staring at me the entire time. So for like two book signings, I had these damn things like right behind my head. And I'm trying to take pictures, sign autographs, answer questions. And every time I turn around, I just got these 2 freaking dowels there. And so when we left, I thought that we would just leave all the stuff there because I had to fly and we didn't have like the extra luggage. This is when I still could fly. Like, I can't fly no more because of the aneurysm in my head. So, but whenever I did fly, me and Kat, we traveled light, man. I just went like boom and come back. And I remember like Tanya's like, oh, aren't you going to take these home? No, just leave them here. I'll come up and do more book signings up here. Just leave them up here. Well, she didn't want to keep it in her house. So about 3 months later, out of the blue, she doesn't even tell me. I get this box at my front door. And I open up the box and I'm going through it and I'm like, oh, this is stuff from my show. And I was thinking like, great. I was like, hey man, this is perfect. I could use this. Oh great, I could use this. In fact, this chest is from the show, right? And I'm thinking like, hey, I can use these things. I get to the bottom and it's like this very carefully wrapped items. And I'm thinking, wow, this must be cool. I open this up and it's that freaking Dow. Not 1, but 2. right? And I'm all like, what the? And I'm just like, oh, no, 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 no. So I go up and I call Kat. And I'm all like, Kat was sleeping. And I knock on Kat's door. I'm like, Kat. Kat's sitting there like, leave me alone, Dad. I haven't slept. I need to sleep. I'm like, no. You need to wake up. I need you to come outside for a minute. I need you to come out here. It's important. It's an emergency. And Kat knows that I never say an emergency because usually I just handle shit myself. But so she already knew something was up. And then she comes out and I'm like, hey, go wrap that shit back up and put it in the car because I'm not touching it. We need to take it to storage. And then to this day, it still sits in the storage. Like I brought them out once to do because I was going to make that like the new cover of the twins. I was going to do that as a cover and I brought them back out and then for like a short time, took a couple pictures, hurry up, got them out of the hell out of my house. You know what I mean? Just get gone, done. And so, it was, that's the only other doll story I got, guys. Hold on a second. Throat's all parched. All right. That's mostly episode 9. I know we've got 15 minutes, so if anybody's got any questions, they can. If not, I got some updates. No, I know, you know what the funny thing was? That I'm mixed, right? I'm glad that Rain brought that up. So I had, Kat helped out with a lot of my covers, right? So she helped out with like, the Mystery of the Pirate Chest. The bad thing is that it's really hard to get a book cover done. I'm not tech savvy. And like, I know a lot of authors use Photoshop stuff, but I've showed you guys this picture before where Kat did the characters up there, right? You guys seen that before? That's her hand drawing of all the characters, which is freaking phenomenal. I wanted to use that as the cover, but it's a little bit too busy, and it might draw away a little bit of attention, right? And so she did a couple covers, and then we sent it off. She drew it out. We sent it off to one of the covers company, and I won't use them again. I don't want to say their name, but I just won't support them in any kind of way. I send it out there, and the book's supposed to be done on a time limit. Authors will get this. You know that whenever you get a date set out there, it's important to get it released on that date because you're building up the hype. That's your audience, and you know that you're probably going to get the most book sales out of your book ever within that first like 4 to 5 days, like that first week, right? So you got to really make it an impact. So if your book doesn't release on time, that's not a good thing. Shay just went through that, right? And it hurts. It hurts the pocket share. It hurts your launch. It hurts your brand. It hurts your name because you're building this hype. Hey, it's going to be on there. You build that tension, and you do that too many times, you're going to lose some audience members. Period. I don't care who you are, how good a writer you are. And so I had go on there, and I had trusted a editor, which I shouldn't have done. That's the reason why I don't use editors anymore. And I trust this editor. She's like, yeah, well, we'll put it through this cover department. I was like, okay. And the cover department comes back, and I don't hear from them, and it's getting closer to due date. And I called them up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Oh, well, the person that's doing your cover art, they're on vacation for 2 weeks. Are you, what? And they're like, yeah, 2 weeks. The book launches in 5 days. You guys promised me that it would be done in 5 days. Oh, I know, but she really wanted to go on vacation. Are you freaking kidding me? You guys didn't let me know this? You guys didn't do anything? So they rushed Kat's design, and it turned out crappy. Like, I got it on my wall, but Mystery of the Pirate Chest, it didn't come out anything like she drew. So I was pretty pissed off about that. But that was okay, because that's like the one book I wrote that didn't do well. All my other books did really great. So it probably was something to, see on that one. But whenever I was doing the cover arts, I wanted to make sure that the arts were done well. And I learned that from this one. So I will say that this cover, The Twins, which was like the first book I did underneath my own name, that one came out, that was like the one that was like a throwback to the 1980s B-rated movies. And so whenever I had that done, I had hired someone, and they apparently didn't read the story. They edited it really badly. That was one of those ones I had to re-edit like 5 times. In fact, I recently re-edited it again, probably about, I think maybe last year. I'd have to ask Marion. She's my editor. So I think we re-edited it last year. So like the newest version out there is actually really good. For the readers that know of Waters of Dark, I did, when I edited that, I put John Colt with the smoke coming off his arms in the rewrite or the re-edit. So yeah, last year, thank you, Marion. And I was thinking about changing the cover, but you know that cover got me so many plays. Like that cover literally sold so many of those. And like literally, people saw it and they're like, I bought it because of the cover. I bought it because of the cover. I bought it because, and it's like, okay. Hey, so I decided to leave it. The only thing bad about the cover is that when you read the book, the twin girls are like, 12 years old. And these were obviously like 5, 6. I did plan on doing a sequel on this one. Probably not anymore, but that was going to explain that cover. But that's it. That's the reason why I went with a couple different other covers. And then, like, this was the original one of Dredrick Town. And then the person, oops, let me see if I can get that over there. Of Dredrick Town. That was the original cover. That was off of Kat's art. And then, because the lady that was working on it didn't know how to get rid of some of the words that Kat had put on there. And I know the glare is really bad. But she put all this brown crap speckles on it, and it just looks like crap. And then so we ended up changing it after time to a different one. And then now, with Ghost in the Graveyard, you can see the difference between a professional one and then ones that are not, right? So, for example, this is Ghost in the Graveyards, Waters of Dark, my 2 newest ones, both of them done by Mia MP. And you can see, and she's a professional photographer, editor, and marketer, and does poems. You look at her quality of her covers versus some of my old ones, fantastic. Even the backs, when you look at how Mia did it, like I'll give you an example. Give me 1 minute here. Let's go with non-professional. That's the back of Mystery of the Pirate's Chest. Which I actually liked that book. It just wasn't a big hit with everybody else. But then you look at the back of Mia's. Look at that. I know you guys can't see it so much, but the cover's stunning. So it's worth it to get someone like Mia to do it, or if you can, because the covers honestly do sell books. And that's the reason why I won't do too much more with anybody else, because I don't want. I had to rechange Ghost in the Graveyard because I had hired someone to do the book cover, the old cover. Like I paid someone, which I regret, because there's an original cover to Ghost in the Graveyards and this are Graveyard Games, and it's not it. This is not it. This is the second cover. The first cover was thank you, Sherry. I honestly liked the Mystery of the Pirate's Chest. I thought that was like, I could have done a little bit differently, but I actually thought that was a really good book. The fight scene in it was amazing, and Anui Nakata's awesomeness in it was amazing. I might read a part of it, right? I think I did once before, but I'll try to read it again in a second. But when I did the cover for Graveyard Games, it was literally, I was thinking, I don't know what's AI and not because I'm too stupid. And then next thing you know, I get the cover and I think it's okay and I put it out there. And then someone pointed out to me that it might be AI. So I had it checked and it was. So I immediately pulled it off, hired Mia, and then I had Mia do it so they wouldn't have that crap on there. And that's just me. I just don't want that crap in my books. I'm not judging anybody else. It's just not what I would want for myself, right? So that's just it. Anyways, there was in the Mystery of the Pirate's Chest, it was a really good story. It was actually a romance book. It's a very heavy romance. It's got spice in it. So this was not a horror book. This was a romance book. It was a dark romance. And there's a character in it called Anui, Anui Nakata, who was supposed to be a side character, and she turned into like one of the main ones. And I actually really loved this book. However, for some reason, it got negative reviews. It was like 3.6, which is still good. But this was a really good, even Marianne, Sherry, they liked it. So if you guys want to give it a shot, you can. But there's a scene in here, like Nui finally finds out, or Michael realizes that, Anui and Michael finally realize that they really love each other. And then he gets taken, and she thinks he's dead because all she finds is like his finger and bloody parts of him, right? And her and another her friend, which is a detective, because there's 4 in the main group, they set up a trap for the bad guys, and they're in this warehouse waiting for them to show up, and she's gone. Like, she thinks that they killed Michael, and now she's preparing for killing death. She's getting ready to fight her worst enemy, and the bad guy, which is Mr. Creepy, is pretty badass. And this is one of my favorite lines that I wrote. She gets down on her knees and she does a prayer before she goes into battle. And I thought this was like one of my most memorable things. "Father, hear my words," she whispered. "Father, guide my hands. They are yours to command. Please help me save the one I love. Give me the strength, Heavenly Father above. If I cannot save him, then let those that have harmed him be condemned. For a river of blood will flow from them as a blood sacrifice in honor of him. If I have to fall as well, then I will take every one of them with me to hell." So that was like the poem I wrote, or her prayer, for that book. And then there's a fight scene that, even though I got like only an overall 3.6 star review on it, there was one of the things I got complimented on was the last fight scene between Anui, thank you, and then Anui and Mr. Creepy. That fight scene everybody says was phenomenal. It was like the best part of the book. So I was very pleased with that one. But it does make a difference on the cover. All right, you guys. I'm sorry if this episode was way off the normal episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, I got the hiccups. Stay tuned until next week. We'll join us again right here at 8 p.m. every Tuesday. If you guys love the show, go ahead and share it and tell everybody else about it. And then also, if you guys want a little bit more fun, you guys are not bored, stay on for Amy Lucille. She has Porch Lit tonight at 9 p.m. In fact, right now, you guys are about 4 minutes. You guys want to jump over there and check them out. Remember again, one of Emma Carolina's down here. If you guys don't know her, I see new faces down there. She's got a new book out, part 3 of her series. It's in Amazon, Shadow of Stone. Emma also is one of the biggest inspirations for my book, Waters of Dark. It's her writing that I strive to achieve. And then also remember that Brenda Dyer's on there. She's got 6 fantastic. I'm getting ready to get on to book 2 because I got to find out what happened after Prophecy's Love. You know what I mean? The first one, that one hooked me with the vampires. I got to see what's coming up next. I will read all 6, Brenda. So, all right, you guys. It was a pleasure. You guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. My name is Mike Manicki. I'm a thriller writer. You can find all my stuff online and at Amazon.